What is going on, guys? So first of all, I want to say, pardon the mess. On my flight, it literally leaves in, dear God, 8 hours. So I'm being picked up in around 6.5. So yeah. But anyways, the point of this video, because I got this question actually today, and it gave me inspiration to make this video. So it was basically, this guy ended up messaging me on Instagram when I showcased one of my profit days again, and he's just like, how do you keep doing this? It's like an everyday thing. And honestly, it is now at this point, and I'm very grateful for it to be this, but it hasn't always been like this. So I've been basically trading for 5 years now. But honestly, when I think back to everything I've been doing with not just stocks, but like business in general, because you guys know that stocks isn't the only thing I do. I invest in other things as long as they give me a minimum of 10% returns every month. So basically, it's just like, okay, I look back, right? I remember back in middle school, I did a couple of things. I did the duct tape wallets, like I made those. I went to Home Depot, bought the duct tape, watched the YouTube videos, made those. I did the origami. I even made up my own card playing game, like Pokemon / Yu-Gi-Oh! With different monsters. The funny thing is, people literally paid me money in order to make them the cards to play with, like me and my friends. But every time I made them a super powerful monster, and like they'd pay me more for a more powerful monster, I always made myself like a much powerful monster, so I would never lose. And no one ever caught on. It was hilarious. And I'm like, I'm the one making the cards, of course. And another thing I used to do is I used to, like, every time I went to Germany and all of that, like, it was very big when I first came to the States. So when I, like, came here, like, my family visited me when I was in the States, they would, like, bring German chocolate because I love that stuff. Now, an entire pack of, like, Duplo, for example, it's around, like, 3-4 euros. So it's really not expensive, and you have around 12 in a pack usually, I believe. And so it's like, okay, great. I would sell one Duplo for $5 and I had 12 in that. So the profit margin on that was insane. So, you know, like, looking back on it, it was clear that I've always had a thing for money, right? It started at a very young age. I think it started with my dad. I remember first grade. We had this thing back then. Every time you finished the day, so you had card colors: green, orange, red. If you finished the day on the red, it was not a good thing. If you I don't even remember what the punishment was. If you finished it on orange, that means you messed up a couple of times throughout the day, but you were still fine. No points deducted or anything. If you ended up on the green, I remember my dad, he said this to me, like every day, because I had an issue with turning it into like orange or red because I threw my lunchbox, hit kids on the head with the lunchbox, whatever I did with that lunchbox. So he said, every time you end on a green, I will give you $1. And for a little, like, 6-year-old, it's like, huh? $1? Right? Because all I wanted back then was, like, Ben 10 toys, Beyblades, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! So, like, obviously, for that money, because it's not like I had a job back then. And, yeah, so that's what I was doing. And then from that point on, I think it just consistently kept going. A story, so if you guys don't know, I am Catholic. So I ended up going to camp, right? It was a Catholic 1-week church camp. And basically they had this thing, and I believe I was like, I would say 11, 12 at the time. And it's like a 1-week getaway. Your parents can't go. My parents gave me $20 for that 1 week as like to go to the gift shop, to get food, whatever. And like meals were included, so it's just like extra stuff like candy. And I remember, like, every time you did like a deed or something, they would give you like this free coupon. And it said like 1 free coupon for these sour straws or something, Sour Patch straws, I can't remember exactly, or Skittles or whatever. And every single morning, right, it's like if you wake up at this time, like I've always had like a natural alarm clock in my head, so it's very simple. So I always woke up, I always went from, like, even back then, it sounds very weird considering I was 11, I always woke up and I always went on my morning run. Because that's something like my mom, she always used to do. Even when I was like 4, she used to always take me with her on her runs, except back then I was kind of walking and she was running, and then she'd like run back and forward, like on and on. So I was just used to that growing up, so I just kept doing that. And from that point on, it kind of continued, and then as soon as I finished my run, I would always go and do like 5 tasks. So every single day, because that was also the limit, you can get 5 free tickets. Now obviously a lot of the other kids were all like between 11, 13, I think 14, I don't remember the exact ages, but they were younger and they was older. And yeah, it was interesting because no one wanted to do anything, because obviously it's camp, you don't really want to do anything, you just want to have fun, because you don't want to make your bed, you don't want to do this, you don't want to get up before this time. But I didn't have an issue with it. So what I ended up doing, and one of my dad's friends, he worked at the camp, and he tells the story all the time. It is, especially now, since I've kind of grown more into a business person, I would take those 5 tickets, and I would literally go into that store, grab it, and then I would sell it back to like everyone in that, like, it was a huge room. I think there were like 80 bunk beds or something, so we had like 160 or 180 people. And I would sell it for $5 a pop. So every day I made $25 for 1 week straight, right? So if you take that into account, and then like we even had bidding wars, because a pack of Oreos you paid $5 tickets, and I remember I had a bidding war, and I think it went up to like 40 or 80 bucks, because there were some kids, obviously parents gave their kids more, some less, and at the end I think, also what my dad said is, whatever I don't spend from the $20 I get to keep, so I wasn't even going to spend anything anyways, because I wanted to keep all of it. And yeah, so I think I ended up spending the $20 he gave me and turned it into more. And I think I bought like a shirt or something for, no, I didn't turn it, I bought a shirt with the $20 as like a souvenir or something, and like a mini sword. This happened a while ago, and the story keeps changing. But yeah, so I think I returned back with like 400 bucks. But yeah, so I ended up coming home basically with like 400 bucks, and obviously my parents were like, how? And I mean, they were impressed, but at the same time they're like, you can't do that. He ended up saying like some business term, or that I was ripping people off. I mean, they weren't wrong, but it is what it is. But yeah, so that was just another example. So like those examples really helped. And then I remember back when I was 11, I ended up buying Amazon stock. I couldn't buy it myself because I had no idea how to or anything, but I just remember looking at it, and I don't know, actually I might have been 13, because I remember I had an iPhone 4, and I just saw like, it was a stock market app, or Yahoo Finance, maybe it was my iPad, I can't even remember, but I ended up buying it, and I think I literally only had enough money for like 2-3 shares, or no, I think 5 max, and I bought that, and yeah, I'm really happy. Fun fact is I actually still have them, they're still in my dad's name. I should probably sell those now, because 5 times 3, and that's an extra 15 grand I can use. But yeah, so I mean, stuff like that just adds up. It kind of shows who you are, and a lot has to do, obviously, with how you're raised. And yeah, I mean, it really comes down to that. I'm very fortunate and blessed enough to the point where my parents paid for everything. So it's not like I had any real expenses until I turned 18, and yeah, so, but I mean, it's also good because now I can give back. I'm getting my mom an X6, and I'm getting my dad an M8, and I'm also paying off their house. So I mean, I'm very fortunate to now be in this position, to have a home of my own, to be able to afford their home, but I also have to keep myself at a certain standard, and the reason I'm doing that because I found that the higher my expenses are, in a sense, the more I force myself to make, because every time I was like against the wall and I needed to make like 2-3 grand like super quickly to pay something off or to get something for an investment, for some odd reason I was always able to do it. So now, like, one of the first things every single month, $4,000 of my money goes into my retirement fund. Now you're probably wondering, like, in your 401k? No, not anything like that. It's my own retirement fund. I made it myself, but I'm basically just putting $4K every month into that, because at the end goal, if I get that up to $1 million, or like $1.5 million, and on average it's making around 15% a year, very conservative, I can literally, that's $200,000 or $250,000 every single year, purely while I sleep, passive income. And that's just a nice thing to have. But yeah, that's kind of basically how I got started. It really came down to how I was raised. But I don't know, I've always also been a very mathematical person and not really a people person in a sense. I've never, I have a social battery. I love going out, I love having fun with friends. But honestly, once my social battery dies, I'm done. Don't try to talk to me. Don't text me. I just won't respond, to be honest. I don't even talk to my parents sometimes at that point, and they know about it. They know who I am as a person, and they're fine with it. So yeah, I mean, there's nothing more I can say. That's just who I am, and it really helps in stocks. One thing that I had to learn, and I kind of went through something that helped me learn this, but is to keep emotions out of it. So don't get very emotional. My dad, he gets very emotional. I send him stock picks, and I remember I told him for Tesla, I'm like, okay, buy 50%, for example. Let's say if you have $10,000. I'm like, Dad, okay, buy 5,000 at this price. It could drop down to here, and that's when you buy the other 5,000 around this area. But if not, then you at least made a little profit. So obviously, what does he do? He puts all the 10,000 on the first price, and I'm like, oh my god. Then what happens? It drops down to the second price. What did I do? I did my exact strategy. So I was big chilling. He was not. And he's like, see, this is why I hate Tesla. This is why I hate the stock. I just can't. Once it gets up back to my price point, let's just say 620 for example. Once it gets back up, I bought it 619.80. Once it gets to 620, I'm selling it. I'm done. No, fuck it. I just want this damn stock gone. I was like, Jesus, fuck, calm down, My price target is 640. My average cost is around 610, because I fucking bought it at 600 and 620, like I said. And he's just like, I'm just like, oh, holy crap, relax. First of all, you don't have a large position size. Second of all, he's like, this your advice sucks. And I'm like, oh my god. And what about the other 50 stocks you were happy with? I remember when I told you about CLF when it was at $3 and then I'm going to 10. I'm like, come on, man. But yeah, so keep emotions out of it. I went through something, so it became easier for me to do so. So I have her to thank for that. That's the only thing I'm thankful for. But yeah, so that's kind of a quick intro to how I got started. And it's honestly, I'm very thankful for the opportunities my parents have given me. I'm very grateful to be able to give back to them now, and still do what I love, traveling the world. As you guys can see, I'm literally packing my suitcase right now, because my flight leaves in 3 hours now at this point. So yeah, but honestly, if my biggest advice or anything I can say is I've tested stuff. I've tested a lot of it. I've tried Amazon FBA, I've tried Shopify. That worked for a little bit and then failed. I've done the social media marketing agency. I've done car flipping. I've done watch resales. I've done wholesaling. Holy crap, I've done a lot of stuff. And guess what? Stocks is the thing that kind of stuck mainly. Yes, some of the other things, I now have people who work for me take care of that side. I just hired someone to oversee the social media marketing agency. So, that's a good thing. It's passive income for me now at this point. But, it really comes down to who you are as a person and your certain skill set. Now, you can self-teach yourself everything, but there's a difference when you don't have a true drive for it. compared to when you do. I love trading stocks. I look forward to every freaking Monday. I remember when I hated Mondays during school. Like, I dreaded it. Now I'm like, fuck, it's Saturday. I'm like, let it be Monday. Or like even Sunday night, because then I like make my watch list and I'm like super excited. So again, it comes down to you. My biggest suggestion is try everything. See what you like best. See what works best for you. And go with it. You know what? Fuck what everyone else says or thinks. Because trust me, I got hate back then. I got made fun of back then. I get hate today. I get made fun of today. That's fine. I'll throw fun coupons at them for my boat. That was, that's gonna mean, but no, like, the way people reciprocate towards me, I will reciprocate back. If you're petty towards me, I'll be petty back. The only difference is, I have a little bit more ammo than you now, so you might want to be careful. But anyways, you know, it really just comes down to it, and yeah, I don't want to keep dragging along this video for the same message, so hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully it was a little bit insights to who I am, how I got where I am, and yeah, so again, it comes down, there's a lot of different ways to make money. Literally duct tape, if you're like in high school or middle school, you can resell snacks, candies, you know, because trust me, there will always be parents that forbid their kids from a certain thing that if you can get your hands on. It's like drugs, but legal. You're selling legal, you're selling candy. So, but yeah, you know, that's that. And besides that, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. If you want some free shit, all the links down below give you free stuff. It does help me out as well, so feel free. But again, you don't have to if you don't want to. You can just type it into Google. I won't take it personal. Maybe a little bit. But yeah, that's about it. Subscribe, like, comment, follow, get the free stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out.